What's up, YouTube? This is a new segment I want to start doing for you guys on Mondays. Let's just call it Monday Motivation. I don't know if you need any motivation or not, but if you're like me, there are probably more days that I want to give up than days that I just feel inspired and motivated and ready to keep going. Life is freaking hard, man, and it's getting harder every single day just to live a quiet life, work with your hands, and mind your own business. Just the simple stuff, right? A lot of you guys might be ready to freaking give up and just kind of fade away into the shadows. And so let's join together and try to push back against that. A lot of content like this is getting lost in the sauce. Obviously, the things that get the most clicks now are have to do with politics or world news, stuff like that. And yeah, all that stuff's important, but the fact of the matter is, if you kind of let your mind go and you don't intentionally consume things that are helping you get better and train your mind, then you can have all the resources, all the money, all the equipment that you could ever imagine having, and you're still going to be pretty ineffective and useless if you don't have a trained mind. So on that vein, this week's episode is going to be talking about quitting. Why or what happens when we quit? What are the consequences of quitting? And then how do we respond to it when it does happen? There have been many times in my life that I have quit on things. I've done some really hard stuff, SEAL training, difficult ultra marathons. All that stuff comes easy to me. But there have been some things that I've almost given up on and that I have given up on. I want to tell you guys a story. I almost quit on my marriage one time. I had just gotten back from my second deployment. I was in the Navy, and I realized that my wife was in the midst of a really nasty drug addiction. And I was essentially going to have to choose between being a husband and my career in the Navy, or myself, right? My marriage had quickly gotten to a point that it was way harder than I wanted it to be. And I was ready to give up on it. I called my little brother that day and I told him, man, I don't think I can keep doing this anymore. And he just simply told me the truth. He said, Chad, you made a commitment to your wife. And the fact of the matter is, you're bound to her until she either gets better or, God forbid, she passes away. And I'm so glad that he held me accountable in that moment, because today my marriage is my favorite part of life, and it's absolutely wonderful. So what happens when you quit? Are you guys at that point with something? Well, let me remind you, if you quit, one thing that's a fact, it's going to change the course of your life. And not only your life, but it's going to change the course of other people's lives also. Most especially the people who depend upon you. All right? And if you decide to give up right now, 5, 10, 20 years down the road, your life is going to look a lot different than it could look. Now, how do I know this? I talk to guys, not on a regular basis, but quite often, who I went through SEAL training with, and they quit SEAL training, and their lives look so much different than mine today, simply because a single moment of weakness and a single decision to give up. That's across the board. What else happens? Well, if you quit, it can quickly become a habit. In other words, it becomes your default reaction to any challenge that you face in life. That happens really quickly, and it happens almost subconsciously. And that's not who we want to be. That's not the person that we want to be. I don't think any of us. We begin to kind of just make peace with it. We begin to believe our own excuses, and it leads us down this path in life where we just become this passive and ineffective person who never accomplishes anything. Let's not go there, man. It's freaking dangerous to quit. Nonetheless, it does happen. So what do we do when it does happen? Well, we take the hardest course of action, and that is to take ownership of the reason why we quit. In other words, refuse to believe our own excuse. Call it what it is, own it, learn from it, and then the very next thing that we must do is retrain, rejock, take the time that we need to get stronger, and we need to go back and conquer whatever that thing is that we gave up on. I actually saw that happen this weekend. We ran a rite of passage mission. We call it the ROP course here at 307 Project. There were 4 guys on this team this weekend that a year ago, they quit the ROP course about halfway through. And all 4 of them came back and completed it this year. And man, it's the inspiration for this video, as a matter of fact, because I know how hard that decision was for them. It's the most difficult course of action, but it's what we need to do. And hopefully you have the opportunity to actually do that, because some things you choose to give up on, you're not going to have a second chance. So I just wanted to remind some of you guys today the consequences of quitting. If you needed to hear it, then this video is for you. I appreciate you tuning in. If you got anything out of this, drop me a comment and let me know what you thought about it. Share it with somebody, or if you really want to support us here at 307 Project, get you a hat, get you a t-shirt, man. It means a lot to me, and I just appreciate all you guys. I love y'all. Enjoy your week. I'll catch you on the flip-flop. Enough said.